This conference will now be recorded.
Well, thank you all for joining me in today's business networking virtual activity. Today we have a special treat, which is we're going to have Richard Deneen as our guest speaker. And he's going to do an interactive presentation and a PowerPoint presentation. So very quickly, just to set out the agenda, is very similar to what we always do. First, we'll go through a round of introductions. So please take at most a minute and a half for your introduction so we can leave some time for Rich. As soon as we go through the round of introductions, then we'll turn it over to Rich again as our guest speaker. He'll have some interactive demos, PowerPoint presentation. Hopefully we'll have 5 or 10 minutes left at the end for questions and answers, because that's always the most fun and the most interesting part. And hopefully we'll have another 5 or 10 minutes to quit early before 3 p.m. over here on the East Coast, so that everybody can take a minute to relax, get a drink of water before your next Zoom, because I know now we're all back to back here with the Zooms. So here we go, and I'll mute everybody real quick, and I'll just unmute people in the order that I have them on my screen so you can do your introduction. And first we have an old pro at this. So Alejandra, as always, if you could take a minute and a half to do your introduction, please.
Absolutely. Well, hi, everybody. Now, I see a shared screen. Is that what am I supposed to be seeing?
Yes, because that'll be Patrick's.
Got it. I'm like having something in my computer. Is that on my end? Or okay, good deal, good deal. So hi, everybody. My name is Alejandra. Nice to meet you. Hi, Sal. Good to see you. I know I have skipped a couple. It's been a crazy but good couple last months. But my name is Alejandra. I actually am a regional vice president of the company. It's called ACN, but I'm my own business owner within ACN. And what we do in ACN is simply two things. One is we help both residential and commercial people save on their essential services. So if anything here is interested in saving on energy or their internet or TVs or credit card processing, identity theft protection, we partner up with major companies, and because we direct sale, we can get better pricing. But more important than that, I also help everyday people generate residual income when people pay on bills, which is the only thing residual in our lives. And so if you ask me what a good referral for me is, outside of the normal person looking for a second stream of income or maybe a source of retirement in the future, a great place for me to work is where I work all the time a lot as well, is either business owners that don't generate residual income or real estate professionals. And what I mean by that is, agents, brokers, investors, property management, they're all in front of people that are connecting services, but none of them generate residual income on those transactions. So I teach them how to generate a simple concierge service, better serve their clients, create a better experience for their clients, get better reviews, get more referrals, and generate residual income with something that we're just getting paid once. And so with that, again, my name is Alejandra. I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you, and I am with ACN.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And let's see, next on my list is Ashley Barnett. If you could unmute yourself from your side and introduce yourself. Okay, we'll keep.
You know what? I apologize. My name is coming up as Ashley Barnett. I didn't even notice that. I'm actually Gosha. Ashley is no longer with our company. I'm looking like, who is Barnett? And I'm like, wait a minute, that's me. Sorry, I don't know why it clicked on with her name. My apologies. My name is Gosha Humes, and I'm with Burke Michael. We're a WBE certified woman-owned business here on the north side of Pittsburgh. We do all interiors for commercial, higher education, law firms, and also government. So any type of referral for us that is great is anybody that is moving, anybody that is growing, reconfiguring their existing office space. And even with this pandemic, we have been doing a lot of residential home offices. So reach out to us for those services as well. And we do all the design work. We do all the space planning and layouts. We do all the installations, whether they're union or non-union. And let me think, what else am I? And we're global. So I know with the meetup, everybody's from all different locations. So if there is an opportunity in your neck of the area, it's a good lead for us as well. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, fantastic. And by the way, that reminds me, please, everybody, put your contact information into the chat, because later today, I'll send out a recording of the meeting, and I'll also send out a copy of the chat. So put in there whatever you want me to share, emails, phone numbers, websites, whatever you put in the chat, I'll share with everybody. The love coach, Barb Klein.
Hi, everybody. I'm Barbara Klein, the love coach. I'm the owner of The Best You Dating and Life Coaching, and I am a dating and life coach. I help singles who are feeling frustrated and lonely by teaching them how to discover their own self-worth through my love story program, so they can fall in love without compromising their boundaries. I also run 2 meetup groups. One is called Self-Improvement Singles. The other is called Surviving and Thriving Divorce. I created those a couple years ago to help support the suffering community of people going through separation and divorce, as well as people who are frustrated as singles trying to meet somebody that is they're aligned with. And so through these groups, I help people understand that self-love is the most important thing in order for one to show up differently, to heal the wounds of past, as well as to how to walk forward in your life in a more positive way. In the chat, I also added ways that you can connect with me through social media. I have a YouTube channel, I'm on LinkedIn, as well as my email address, my website, and my phone number. Thank you so much. And Sal, don't forget to introduce yourself at the end.
Thank you. That's right, because sometimes I get so excited with these meetings, I forget to do that. I'll do that at the very end. So thank you for reminding me. Let's see. Next we have Jack Maitland, which he doesn't beat his own drum on this, so I'm going to do it for him because I don't care anyway. He was actually an ex-professional football player. That's not what he's going to talk about today, but just for the record, there you go. So, Jack, if you could take a minute or two and introduce yourself otherwise.
Yeah, thank you, Sal. My name is Jack Maitland. I actually hail from the south side of Pittsburgh, Upper St. Clair Township. I've been gone from there for quite a while, went to college in New England. I had a couple of years in the NFL, as Sal mentioned. If you've ever heard of me, you're either a trivia expert or you're thinking of somebody else. I wasn't exactly a household name, but was a part of a Super Bowl team 50 years ago, Super Bowl V, when the Baltimore Colts beat the Cowboys. Can't believe it was that many years ago. But I got into the advertising agency business after football, ran my own ad agency for close to 25 years. And 19 years ago, it'll be 19 years ago this November, I was introduced to a company. It's a wellness company called Lucya. They're an Inc. 500 company based out of the Pacific Northwest, Idaho Falls to be specific. And I looked at them. First of all, our family fell in love with their products. They're actually known as the wellness company right now. They manufacture here in the U.S. over 400 products, every category you can think of, except refrigerator items and paper goods. But we became happy customers, and then decided a revenue share. They allow the customer, if they want to revenue share by helping promote their brand. It became a good plan B for me. It ultimately became a exit strategy from the ad agency business. And now, as an aging baby boomer, it's become an important part of my retirement plans. Alejandra mentioned residual income. We offer the same. We get paid for referrals, and we have a 96% documented month-to-month reorder rate, which basically tells you the products are good, they're reasonably priced. And if you want to do what I do, as I say, help promote the brand, not sell the product. I mean, we're not Amway distributors or Avon ladies. We don't inventory or peddle products. We basically are self-employed educators for the company. But you start as a customer. It's a $19 a year membership, and you just do a little bit of replacement shopping. And if you feel value in the customer and want to pay it forward, you can. If not, we love our customers. So I'm looking for people that are proactive towards health and wellness, and I'm looking for people that might want to consider a plan B if business and income isn't what you'd like it to be at this point, and you're open for something in addition to. Love to speak with you. So thank you for the time, and look forward to hearing from the rest of you.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Jack. And let's see, then we have Jeremy Westcoat. Same thing, if you could unmute yourself from your side and give us your introduction, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Sorry, it took just a second to get connected there. As Sal said, my name is Jeremy Westcoat, and thank you, Sal, again for hosting. It's only my second time with the group, but I am a Pittsburgh-based travel agency owner. I own a travel agency called Travel Come True. We're a franchise of Dream Vacations. We can be found anywhere social media is happening: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a YouTube channel. We also have a meetup group called Hello Travelers. Was originally intended to be a Pittsburgh-based in-person meetup group. We got one meeting in and COVID hit. So now we have virtual members from all over the country, which is fantastic. The ideal referral for me would be anyone that wants to go anywhere for any reason. I can handle business travel. I can book an overnight in a hotel in Cleveland. If you want to go visit family, we can send you to pretty much anywhere in the world with the exception of North Korea, Syria, and maybe one or two others. So if anybody has any interest or any need for my services, you can find my information in the chat. And again, thanks, Sal, for hosting.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. And let's see, moving down my list, we have Keith Morehouse with his new laptop.
I'm Keith Morehouse. I run a small venture capital fund here in Pittsburgh. Let's see. I invest in small companies. Some are startups, but not many are startups. I tend to stay away from a lot of the startup world. A company I like to see is somebody that has revenues, has most of their management team in place, has a number one, would have a sales team in place, and has not healthy revenues, but they know what they need to do to grow the business. Like again, it's not a startup fund. I don't really invest in startups. I got into this a few years back with a partner of mine. I was doing research for his mutual funds, and we started the fund. He has since left, retired from the business, and I took the fund over about 2 years ago. We look for companies around Pittsburgh, but I'm looking at companies now in New Orleans, and there's a company in Canada that I'm looking at. So I'm just not in the U.S. or just not in Western Pennsylvania or the tri-state area here. Well, I try to stay around here, but it's tough. There aren't a whole lot of business around here. I don't know what it is with Pennsylvania. Could be the 9% tax code, but it's tough starting a business in Pennsylvania and making it successful. Okay, thanks, Sal, for having another meeting.
Absolutely, Keith. Thank you for joining us. And now we have a special guest from Ohio, Mike Mosteller. If you could unmute yourself from your side and introduce yourself to the group.
Yeah, thanks for having me today, Sal. Lance Armstrong, greatest bike racer of all time. 7 Tour de France championships, never been done before, probably will never be done again. But even at his peak, and even while he was on his performance-enhancing substances, I could have beaten Lance in a bike race if Lance was on a tricycle. Let's just play this through. So what's going to happen? I'm going to beat Lance, despite him being better at what he does than me, much better. I'm going to beat him. What's Lance going to do? Well, if he's like most of the small business owners I know, he's going to go back to his routine And this week, he's just going to work harder and harder on the things he already does. The problem is, the next time we go and race, I'm going to win again. So when I meet an entrepreneur like Lance, I help them call a timeout. And while I know I'm not better than them at the things they do, what I can help them do is build a better bike so that they can keep up with their competition. I'm Mike Mosteller, president of Buckeye Business Performance, but don't hate me. I'm a Penn State grad and have no affiliation with Ohio State.
Excellent, excellent. That was fantastic. Oh, Rich, we'll skip you because you're going to be our guest speaker. So, Tony, you get to follow that. If you could please unmute yourself and give us your introduction.
Hey, Sal, I could do without, but any chance I could share my screen?
Sure. Actually, it's Richard Richard, if you could stop for a second so Tony could share his. Just click the little icon that looks like a computer screen. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Hey, guys. My name is Tony Mekadon, and I am with Infone. And Infone, as everybody's putting their information in their chat box there, they're putting in how to connect with them on social media and their website and all that good information. I basically share this with my clients, and I show them how to save this as a little icon on their phone. So they always know how to get in touch with me because my information is always right there. What we do at Infone, we try and tell your story. We all sell different goods and services, and a lot of them are the same. But why people do business with you is the whole know, like, and trust. So we try and put your story on there, and we put it in a way that you want your customers to see your business. The best part about Infone is that you could actually put your entire referral network on your Infone card. So as you're out there growing your own business, you're also helping to grow other people's as well, and they're in turn doing the same for you. So in the essence of networking, we're basically just trying to work to get as many eyeballs on everybody's business as possible. My information is in the chat. If I could ever help, I would love to. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. And thank you, everybody, for staying so much on track here and on time. So I'll make a quick introduction of myself before I turn it over to, again, Rich. My name is Sal Acosta. Thank you all for joining me. I am a business broker, which is exactly like it sounds. I help people buy and sell businesses. Now, since they come in all shapes and sizes, I usually deal with businesses in what's called Main Street and lower middle market. So that's a business that has anywhere on the low side from about 10 employees to about 250 on the high side, anywhere from 0 to about 10 or $20 million in revenue. And I know things have been getting a little crazy with the coronavirus, but hopefully at least break even to about $1 million or $2 million in net positive cash flow. Now with the coronavirus, I'm working nationally. I'm helping people all over the country. It used to be that Pittsburgh was my main market, but again, now as everybody gets used to doing business over Zoom, it's been literally coast to coast. So I'll also put my information in the chat, and again, share everything that everybody puts in the chat later with an email when I send out this video. So that's it for me. Without further ado.
Can everyone hear me? Great. Thanks, everyone, for having me and for coming today. My name is Rich Deneen. I've known Sal for a couple years now, about as long as I've been doing marketing, and we're in our third year now. I started off doing marketing for home services, meaning like roofing and landscaping and pressure washing with my company Lucya LLC, based here in Pittsburgh. Then I started, I continued doing home services marketing. I also do some medical niches, mainly chiropractic, med spas, and the like. And I started using some new software not too long ago that I thought was so impressive that I thought just about any business could use it. And so I've started selling that as its own product. And I hope to sell it to as many businesses as I can because it's fantastic. I think it's going to become the new standard in the next year or two because everybody having less and less patience, less and less attention span. That's the word I was looking for. Things have to happen very quickly. And rather than go into my slides, I'm going to do a brief demo first because the slides will make a lot more sense after I do the demo. So Sal has agreed to let me use his smartphone. I'm going to text. You all see my website right now, dineensystems.com, a big green screen. That's you don't. Let me share my screen.
You're not sharing your screen.
I had given up share a minute ago, and then I forgot to take it back. Let me know if you can see it now.
Yep, we can.
Okay, great. I'm going to just, Sal, I'm going to pretend this is your website, Sal. We're going to send Sal a text message. I had done some demos here the past few days. Let's say Sal is getting an inquiry from Fred Flintstone. Drops Sal's phone number in there, and Sal buys and sells businesses. So Fred Flintstone is going to say, I want to sell my business. Sal, you should get a text message within 10 seconds.
Okay.
Let me know, please, when your phone buzzes.
Yep, and right there it is.
You should get 2 of them, actually. And I'm going to, well, I wanted to share, I can't figure out how to get GoToMeeting to share a phone. So I'm going to have to show them through the software, the back end of the software. Let me see, where was I? Let me go into my leads here.
Let's see, you guys can.
Here it is, Fred Flintstone.
See it right there.
Oh, can you share it, Sal?
You want me to share my computer screen or?
I was hoping you could share your phone, but don't worry about it. It'll I'll just show them right here. This is the text Sal got in about 10 seconds. So here's the incoming message from FF, Fred Flintstone. I want to sell my business. This demo sent Sal 2 texts. The first one is the text that Fred Flintstone receives. It says, thanks for visiting our website. We'll be in touch with you shortly. And then, Sal's business name right here. And then just to
see my phone on the screen there. That's exactly what I just got.
Great. And the other text is the other side of the conversation. This is the text that Sal will receive. You just got a web chat message from Fred Flintstone. Here's his number. Here's what he wants. We told them that you'll reply as soon as you can from Dineen Systems. So this is a small example of the kind of automation that this software could do. This is like I said, it's going to be the new normal pretty soon. People want instant answers and instant attention. This is what we do. Like I said, this is a very small part of the automation. It's just the easiest one to demo. We do this for websites. We do it for your Google listing. So by that, I mean Google My Business. They have a chat feature rolled out now on their mobile listings. It'll be on desktop by the end of the year. So we do that for Google listings also and Facebook page because people hang out. People can reach a business through either of those 3 online channels. They can come through your website. They could go to your Google listing if maybe they're looking for a review, or some people hang out on Facebook and reach a business there. But this is how quickly somebody can get a lead with the software. If Sal wanted to talk to Fred Flintstone, he'd tap the number right there. I know you can't see that it's clickable through this software, but this number is tappable. It should be a link, isn't it, Sal? You could just tap it and be on the phone there in 10 seconds.
Yeah, if you see, it's highlighted in blue here on my screen. So let me see. So that means that, I could actually click it and it would dial.
Yes. So you get the text message in about 5 seconds. You could tap that phone number instantly and be on the phone in about 30 seconds. I think that's pretty fast. And like I said, imagine this for a Google listing and a Facebook page. The the clients that I have that use this, they get 1 or 2 leads a day through those 3 channels. So, 45, 60 a month. And they, needless to say, they manage a lot more and close a lot more because people get instant attention, instant answers. And so that's the first demo I wanted to show you. We do a lot more than that. Like I was saying, let me go down to a different one. It's the same kind of idea, but this time it's not just a simple chat. This time it's going to be radio buttons. And Sal, was it Sal459? I think you are right at yahoo.com.
That's right.
Okay. Say it's a form this time. Somebody wants support and they want it now. Boom. This should come to Sal in about 3 or 4 seconds, I guess.
And this will be an email, right?
This will be both.
All right. Well, here's the email.
You got the email?
Yep, there's the email.
And we can look at it here. This is the email your lead will receive. Thanks for filling out our form. Our representative will be in touch with you
at
the time you've requested.
This is the text message.
Yep, your name. Oh, you got the text message, Sal?
Yep, I did right there.
Great. It's not coming in my software, but let me see. Let me just refresh the page here. But long story short, Sal is going to get all that info that we just filled out: the name, the phone number, the email, and the answers to those 3 questions. So he could instantly see, what does this person want? What's their backstory? They're a warm lead now because they have, you have some idea of what they want before you call them. You have, when they, how urgent their message is. Is it an emergency? Do they just want to talk about something casual? Whatever it is, you have the choice to tap that phone number and call them right away, or email them right away, or don't, or just, forward it to your secretary, whatever you want to do. But that's the idea. That kind of thing is really useful for people in insurance or law, somebody who needs to know exactly what somebody needs really quickly so they can get back to them, or make the decision not to, because time is of the essence. And I always hear things like law. I mean, people in law, they always say, like, this is a really, we need response time that's like boom, like that. And we need to know what the person wants, and we need to get on the phone with them. Here is the text. This is the text that Sal would receive. He just got a form submission, interested in support, requests a call, would prefer it right now. Here's the number, here's the email. Good luck, Sal. That's the idea. And then there's the text that the lead would receive. Thanks for filling out our form. Our representative will be in touch with you as soon as they can. There's also the opportunity to do something else with this information. Maybe Sal didn't want that forwarded to him. Maybe he didn't want anybody to reach that. Maybe Sal would say, like, I just want this. I want this to populate a spreadsheet. Don't forward it to my phone. Take this information from the form and put it into a spreadsheet, an Excel file, or his CRM if he uses one. I don't like to use the word CRM on any demos because people don't like CRMs. And when I bring up the word CRM, they run the different direction. But if Sal wanted that info put into a spreadsheet or his own software, we could do that. That's what we mean by automation. Take some incoming trigger or signal and do something with it. Forward it, put it into a spreadsheet, both text, email, voicemail, drop, whatever you like. One more demo. I'm going to have you book an appointment right now, Sal. This is a chiropractic funnel here. Let's just make it Peter Griffin instead of Fred Flintstone this time. Family Guy. What could I say? Oops. Sal 459. Sal claims a voucher, or Peter Griffin claims a voucher. computer's running a bit slow because I'm using the GoToMeeting, but they're taken to a calendar. They'll book 3 p.m. today. That information should get to you, Sal, in about 5 seconds. It's really the same idea, but
okay, and here it is.
Had a funny sound there come through, Sal, but good. I'm glad it came through. Great. Sal is notified that he's got a new appointment, and the customer is thanked with a text confirmation and an email. This could book up. This is usually linked and synchronized to Sal's calendar, so it populates instantly. Everybody on his team is made aware, and this is what they see. Got a booked appointment, Peter Griffin, today, 3 p.m. And the customer's notified. And after this, we usually send appointment reminders. I mean, if it's 3 or 4 days in advance, they'd probably get about 4 appointment reminders just to make sure they show up. Having people show up is a problem for doctors' offices and dentist offices. I see Barbara shaking her head. Yeah, it's if you only knew the no-show rate, it's hard to believe sometimes. But with reminders that are sufficiently aggressive to guilt them into showing up and let them know that this is serious. You made an appointment. You booked out some time on our calendar. You have to come in. Please let us know if you can't. We could send off a series of appointment reminders saying, hey, just a reminder, you have an appointment tomorrow, 3 p.m. Here's our directions. Park in the side lot. Here's the insurance that we accept or don't accept. Wear a mask, whatever else you want to tell them. This is what we mean by automation. Do things like this electronically so that you don't have to think about it, so that you don't have to remember to do all these things. And I mean, it's not just getting notified instantly and with all this detail, it's automating everything so that it takes less off of your mind. It's less that your secretary has to remember to do. It's less that anybody has to remember to do. Just automate as much as you can and free up your mind to do other things. Those are the 3 demos I wanted to show you. You could do everything from your phone, more or less, because some people don't want another software to use. That's fine. You could set this up and forget it, and just and just forget you really have it. Really, if you wanted to, you get access to this software, and you can come in here and see every conversation you've ever had because they're all logged. You could know who said what and when. There's a ton more that you could do. You could set up. You could synchronize your calendars, like I said. You could see where your leads are coming in. Most people get most of their leads from Facebook. Of those 3 channels, their website, their Google listing, and Facebook. It's actually Facebook where most people get the majority of their leads, at least when it comes to doctors that I've noticed. So I'm not going to go through like a whole tour of this software, but this is the kind of thing you could do with it. And it's not a CRM. Don't think of it as another CRM. It's perfectly capable of being set and forget if you want to. Sal, I'm hearing some noise right now.
Yeah, that's because I unmuted everybody in preparation for, I thought maybe people would have some questions, but I'll mute everybody until you're done. Are you just let me know when you're done. I'll unmute everybody in case they have questions. Oh, wait a minute. That includes you. Hold on.
He's muted.
Yes. All right, Rich, I muted you also. I was just going to say, whenever you're done, let me know so I can unmute everybody and maybe they have some questions.
This is a great time to pause for questions, Sal. Before I get into the slides and the rest of it, this is probably a good time because we've shown you a good amount of things.
Yeah, Rich.
Okay, everybody's unmuted. Does somebody have any questions for Rich on what he's shown up to now? Barb, you can go first, and then Jack.
So my thought is, first of all, when I was in the office doing a working interview, they do have a texting system as part of their dental software. But everything they do has to be HIPAA compliant. So that's a factor. And being that you've worked also with chiropractors, that would definitely be a necessity. And but yes, we're able. So in this office, we are able to not only have the automated text messaging to help them remember their appointments and or email, but also we can text them separately. And texting is more effective than email or phone calls.
Yes. Just to answer your question, Barbara, it is HIPAA compliant. It has to be. I have that on the last slide or two of the presentation with all the disclaimers and legalese. But yeah, it is HIPAA compliant, and that's actually why I can't show you more of my doctor's conversations in here, because it's medical privacy. But yeah, it is HIPAA compliant, and like you said, text messaging is the best way to reach anybody these days. I mean, emails, half of them aren't even read, but text messages, everybody at least sees a message that they get.
Okay.
Thanks,
Jack,
Barbara.
do you have a question?
Yeah, I would just, nice presentation, by the way, Richard, but you mentioned law, the medical profession, insurance. What other types of businesses or companies do you represent as your client base?
I represent some home services companies too, like landscaping and pressure washing and roofing and things like that.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, they like to use this stuff too. I don't know if this is a Pittsburgh thing, but they like to have their wives do a lot of this stuff. They like to have their wives kind of do the admin work, and so you forward things to their wives, and it's I don't know if it's just a Pittsburgh thing. I have a feeling it's an everywhere thing, but
I assure you it's not.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's an everywhere thing, but they have
that no-show factor can be frustrating.
I mean, there's depending on the business, I've seen some pretty aggressive reminders. I mean, that saying things like, like if you don't show up, not only do we not get paid for that appointment, but somebody else can't make an appointment and will suffer with a bad back. I mean,
I've actually asked people, can I ask you a question? Are you good at keeping appointments? Okay, because if there's any problem at my end, I can assure you I'll let you know and we can reschedule, and I'm going to expect that same courtesy from you if there's a problem.
Yeah, and my clients do one of a few things. It's either a heavy guilt trip saying, if we're running a business here and if you don't come in, we'll all lose our jobs, or it'll just be a simple type back yes that you're still coming in. So when they get the reminder the day before or the morning of, it'll be please just reply yes to let us know that you're coming in. Right. That seems to be like the easiest and that seems to be the sweet spot for most people. Right. We also have the option to just prepay, and if they prepay, now you're not worried if they come in or not because you got paid. But most people opt for a simple just please type back yes and let us know you're still coming in, and that seems to be the most agreeable way to go about it.
Again, nice presentation.
Thank you.
Well, does anybody have? I have one question for Richard, but before I go, does anybody else have a question for Richard? Okay, well, I'll ask my question, and I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, but I'm going to do it because I think you have a good answer. And by the way, this may be part of if this is part of the PowerPoint slides that you're going to show, then that's fine too. I've heard a lot of chatter, I've never used it, of a software called Zapier that supposedly does a lot of this automation also. I think they deal more, I get the feeling they deal more like somebody sends you an email, they send out an automated sort of email reply back, and there's different workflows, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, long story short, could you just talk a little bit about how you compare with Zapier, what's different, what's the same, what's better with you?
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually use Zapier as a complement to this software. Zapier does some of the things. Well, long story short, what the software is good at, we use it for that, and what it's not so good at, we use Zapier as a complement. So if you wanted to populate a spreadsheet, for instance, it would go through a third party like Zapier. But Zapier is a lot slower than this software. I mean, you got your text messages in about 5 seconds or 10 seconds or so, Sal. Zapier, even on like the $50 a month plan, it's a 2-minute wait time, I think. So, and that might not sound like much, but if you knew how quickly people lose interest if you don't call them, or how quickly they move on to another business or another competitor, time is more important than it ever was. I mean, if you wait like 10 minutes, it's something like 50% of all leads are gone. It's crazy. Zapier can do things like what this software is doing, but it does them either slower, either it can't do them, or it does them slower, or it's just not as well. I mean, if you knew what I just showed you is about 10% of everything the software could do. So bottom line, I guess Zapier is this is like Zapier on steroids.
Okay. All right. Do you still want to go through some PowerPoint slides?
Yeah, sure. Everybody see this? Okay. So yeah, systems as a service is you might have heard of software as a service. This is more, we think of this as systems as a service. It is software, but it's mainly a system that we set up for you one time at least. But if you want updates, we're always happy to update it. It's systems as a service, the way we look at it, systems and automation. And the quote there, what do you automate? What do you got? That's what I thought was from James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause, but it's actually Marlon Brando. Go figure. But you probably know the movie I'm talking about. It's Marlon Brando. So, what are you rebelling against? And he says, what do you got? We could automate just about anything, and just about anything should be automated. That's a theme here. I'm not going to spend too long on the slides. You've seen the demos, but the slides will make more sense now. There are hundreds of changes and events taking place every day in a business. People put out fires all day long and play whack-a-mole. New leads come in. New customers are wanting things. New news. Bottom line, and most of these are mishandled or not handled because of the whirlwind of everything that's happening. I mean, there's so much going on. You have new leads coming in. You have jobs that you have to do. You have other issues. You're busy all day long, and business and busyness are only one letter removed. And so a lot of this stuff gets mishandled or just lost in the whirlwind. You have to play offense, getting new business. You have to do the fulfillment of the sales you've already made. You have to maintain things, and it's just a constant, never-ending conveyor belt of things you have to do. How much can you automate, though? How much can just be set to run on its own as much as you can to take your mind off it, like your heart rate or digestion? I was telling a friend a few weeks ago, what if you had to monitor your own heart rate? Or what if you had to monitor your own digestion? I mean, they would be a constant job. You would get very little else done because you would be so consumed with this background tasks that you couldn't focus on what you needed to focus on. Automation can at least facilitate about 90% of all these routine little tasks. It could free up you and your team, which is the brain, to actually get stuff done, knowing that all that background noise and task will be handled. They'll be handled on their own. The review requests will be sent. The reminders will be sent out. Any lead that comes in will get it in 10 seconds. We don't have to worry. It's all going to get done. Just like your heart rate or your whatever your liver does, whatever your pancreas does. I don't know what those things do, but I know they do important work. And if you had to monitor them and worry about them, you would lose a lot of focus. That's where automation could be leveraged to help just about any business. It can help on the inbound side. I showed you, a website chat example, Google My Business, that's your Google listing, and Facebook. Between those three channels, like I said, most businesses get at least a few leads a day. There is a fourth channel, which is just the phone, the old-fashioned phone. And I don't put a lot of stats in my presentations here, but this 60% average is really floored me when I heard it about a month ago. The average small business misses 60% of their phone calls. That's crazy, I think. What if you could text back those missed phone calls and say, hey, we're here. We'll be right with you in 5 minutes. Don't call our competitor. Just sit tight. We'll be with you in a minute. That kind of thing goes a long way because, 6 out of 10 phone calls, we have to do something about that. And we can now. Form submissions, I showed, the form. You could fill out little checkboxes and radio buttons, get that info sent to you or to a spreadsheet or both. Appointment booking funnels, ad replies. If somebody clicks your ad, you have to get back to them as soon as you can, especially if it's a Facebook ad. Google ads, you have a little bit more leeway, but Facebook ads, people are distracted and they're on there gossiping or watching videos or whatever. And if you don't get back to them soon, they're not as committed or interested as a Google lead. You have to get back to them right away. And you can now. You can get these notifications sent to you instantly. Your outbound efforts, by that we mean, like I said, the appointment reminders to make sure people show up. Those alone will like I was saying, was it Jack was saying earlier, the appointment no-show rate is atrocious. And if you could spend 1 cent on a text, literally a text message costs a penny. If you could spend 1 cent on a text that helps somebody come in and keep their $200 appointment or whatever it is, it's a good investment. And especially if you don't have to remember to do it, especially if it just happens in a 48-hour notice, a 24-hour notice, the morning of, an hour before, whatever you set it to. Review requests, those are all automated now too. I mean, you have to build your reviews. That determines how Google ranks you in their map or in their just all of their rankings. Reviews are a big part of how Google prioritizes and ranks your business. You want to build your requests. You could set it up so that every appointment that you have, everybody who comes through gets a review request sent the next day or the next week or whenever you want. It'll have a link on there to your Google My Business. They could tap it, click 5 stars or whatever they want to rate you, and be done. So that's very valuable too. Quarterly check-ins, if you're a medical office, a dentist office, a doctor's office, you could say, hey, we haven't seen you in 6 months or 4 months. Time to book your appointment. Text messages only cost a penny. You could get a lot of business that way. Voicemail drops, if you know what those are when a voicemail just shows up on your phone. You could schedule those also. You've probably experienced that, right? It's when your phone doesn't ring, but you somehow have a voicemail. It just arrives somehow. That's called a voicemail drop, and it's a pre-recorded message saying, hey, this is Dr. So-and-so. Just wanted to let you know a new special we're offering, or haven't seen you in a while, please come in. Database reactivations is what my company specializes in. Actually, it's when you take an entire database of thousands of people and reactivate it. Send out text messages saying, "Hey, been a long time. We're offering a new patient special. It applies to you. Let us know if you want to schedule an appointment." Get a ton of business that way. So all of these outbound activities can be automated. And then there's just the internal staff coordination. There are accountability problems within businesses. People claiming they don't know they're supposed to do this or that, or a lot of times they honestly don't know that it's time for them to do their job. They honestly don't know what the left hand is doing, so to speak. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. We can coordinate tasks now. Bob can get a text message when Susie is finished with her project, or when a pipeline stage changes, etc. You can get status updates on jobs. If you do call tracking, that's possible with the software. You could fill in the calendars and spreadsheets, and every conversation is consolidated, like I showed you, captured for all time, so you know who says what. We've got full-on Big Brother here, and people are informed now and therefore accountable. All these little tasks get handled and instantly. You manage your leads now. It can't help your close rate, but even if your close rate is very low, you will get more sales by virtue of getting more leads and getting on the phone with more people. Revenues will increase, reviews will get built because we're automating them, or you don't have to think anymore. They're getting sent out automatically the next day or the next week or whenever you set them to. The staff are informed and less burdened, and in automation we trust. Automation is employee of the month. And for an employee of the month, you don't have to pay them much. It's $100 a month we're having right now, and it's less than $1 an hour. When you think 40 hours a week and 4 weeks in a month, that's 160 hours a month. For $100, that's less than a $1 an hour employee that never calls in sick, never makes mistakes, never takes a lunch break or a smoke break, works around the clock, and never complains. So that's pretty much the presentation. This is most of the things I talked about today. If you're not automating these, think about it, because it could really take a lot of load off you, as well as drive revenues. This is about 1/3 of what the software can do. 20 minutes is about the sweet spot for a demo. So that's all I really wanted to say. To answer Barbara's question, it is HIPAA compliant. It has to be. And if anyone's worried about security, it's hosted on Google Cloud. It has their security standards, which are pretty high. It's very secure. Redundancy is normally like a negative word, but it's a good thing when it comes to backups, because you want things backed up 3, 4, 5 times. So multi-site redundancy, which is a good thing. The data is encrypted for privacy at all points. and it does comply with the CAN-SPAM Act. No problems there. There was a landmark court case a year or two ago. This software, when you're doing database reactivations, for instance, it is compliant with the CAN-SPAM Act because it's not a text blast. It's a sequential in-series text messaging. So instead of blasting all at once, it's boom, 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 boom. Very fast, but not a blast. And I didn't mean to rhyme like that, but it is very fast, but technically not a blast, and therefore compliant as ruled by a judge. We customize the system for you. It could be as simple or as complex as you need it. No setup fees, pricing per location, have as many users as you want. That was all I had today. If anyone has any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Okay. We have just about 1 or 2 more minutes. Everybody's unmuted from my side. So does anybody have any more questions for Richard? Or does anybody have any more questions for anybody else that is here, maybe based on their introductions?
Tony, you're still here, right? Yes. So I actually was just introduced the other day by somebody that my husband met to, it's called either 10,000 cards or 100,000 cards. I can't remember how many zeros they had there. But it was basically the same type of concept. I'm interested in meeting with you because I thought it was such an interesting concept where they condensed all of your stuff in like one page and they put like a little QR code and you click on that QR code. Now they get everything. They get my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Instagram, my phone number, my email in one spot. And so is it a similar concept?
Similar, but I got to tell you, I think we have other things that other people don't have. And
sure. I set up a meeting. I'm super interested.
One of the biggest things I think is the network, which I'd be happy to show you because
sure.
I think that's where it's going to differentiate us. The way you could have your network on there and you could share your network as well as your own business.
And by you mean my network?
Yeah, your network of businesses. Like I do a lot of business with, say, real estate agents really like the Infone. And, you know, real estate agents, their clients know, like, and trust them. So they usually go to them, hey, do you know a pool person?
Got
do you
it,
know
understood. Okay, we have a lot of that. We work with thousands of people that are in our team. Okay, yes, I'm super interested in meeting and hearing how it does. I actually already set up a meeting with you and with you too, Mike, because you have that availability right there on your Calendly. So I appreciate that. I'm a fast worker, but yes, I really like the concept. Awesome concept and a great presentation, Richard, as well. Thank you for enlightening all of us. I can totally tell you're absolutely in love with what you have done here, which transpires on the way that you speak about it. So I appreciate you on that end. Since I'm talking, I want to give a quick shout out to Jack, which I don't see here anymore, but his products are really amazing. I actually have little kids at home, and I have used I've used his products, and they're chemical free, so I feel really good about licking the floor, which, you know, it's not rare to see in toddlers. There he is. I was just talking about you, Jack. So I hope your ears are ringing. And so I just wanted to give you a quick shout out, Jack, because your products are amazing and they last forever. I actually got a package from him like 2 months ago, and my house is still being cleaned with it. And I have a huge house. So Jack, thank you for hooking a sister up. So that's it. Sal, as always, thank you for putting the meeting together. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you all for coming. And on that note, we're going to shut down because it's 2:57 here on the East Coast. Again, I want to give people at least a minute or two to take a break and get a glass of water before your next Zoom at 3. Richard, thank you very much for being our guest speaker.
Thanks, everyone.
This has all been recorded, so you can reuse it. And we'll have another meeting in 2 weeks. And, oh, by the way, we're working on getting a SCORE mentor as a guest speaker. So for all of you that are small business owners, SCORE has these fantastic mentors that work free or almost free. I'll be sending that out via email. So anybody that's a business owner, you don't want to miss the opportunity to hear the presentation from the SCORE mentor. So that's it. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for the plug, Alejandra.
You got it.
Thanks, Sal.
Love you, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.